IFBB Big Man Classic that took place in Alicante, Spain, is in the history books now, and my good friend Roman Fritz emerged as the victor. Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. The IFBB Big Man Classic that took place in Alicante, Spain, is in the history books now, and my good friend Roman Fritz emerged as the victor. It's going back to the Olympia. Congratulations, Roman, on a personal level and a professional level. Roman has overcome a tremendous amount of obstacles to get where he was tonight, and that is in the winner's circle. He had to undergo a hip replacement surgery that then went bad and had to be redone. And ironically enough, he had probably the best legs in the entire lineup. Not only were they the best, they were also the hardest and the most ripped, which is what won him this show. This was no walk in the park for Roman Fritz. Emir Emiragic, who was in the second position, was tremendous. I guess you could say his fellow countryman from Germany. So Germany kind of dominated the Big Man Classic with the 1-2 finish. Chris Aceto works with Emir. He's only 24 years old. He's got tremendous potential in the future. Roman won this show because he had more muscle maturity, in my book. He also had a lot more conditioning than a lot of these guys. He's very grainy. And you know what? You can't tell in the pictures. I know how Roman looks. I've seen him in person. He has this shrink-wrapped look to his skin. And the striations that you see in the glutes and the rips and the hamstrings and the quads, it's second to none. His big problem was always coming in full enough, and I think he finally nailed it. He figured out the right formula to be able to be full enough, not over diet at the last minute, and come in just as ripped. And he actually looks better when he's a little bigger, because he never looks soft because he's always so hard. And Roman walks around 365 days a year in shape, which also helped because he has great skin because of that. So this was a huge victory for him. Once again, Emir Emiragic was very close. I mean, you could make a case for him potentially winning here. I mean, but he just doesn't have that real refined, muscle mature, grainy look yet, and that's going to just take time for him. He's got a great back. He's got great shots. He matched up with Roman really well. I think Roman might have had a little bit of a better structure and shape. He's a little wider than Emir. He's a little taller than Emir. That 6-foot frame really, sticks out on stage. He's got a tiny waist, and he knows how to present his physique. He's been doing this a long time now. I know Roman since he's 16 years old, so maybe it was 19 years old. But I do know him from when he was a teenager and he was winning team titles, and we've been in contact that long and been friends for a very long time as well. So I'm really happy for him because I know, like I said, it took a lot to get him back into this winner's circle, and he did a great job. Emir just has to keep doing more of what he's doing, which is just improving, putting on more muscle, getting more muscle maturity, working on refining the conditioning till it's a grainy hardness. And you know what? He's at that stage right now. If he tries to get too hard, he might look too flat. So I think another year or two, when he hits about 26, he's going to really come into his own. He's going to be very dangerous. The guy who impressed me the most was the youngest guy in the lineup, 21-year-old Jose Manuel Munoz. From Spain. This guy is going to be a phenomenon when he comes into his own. 21 years old. He might have been bigger than Roman and Emir. I mean, he had a lot of size on him. Once again, doesn't have that muscle maturity, the round muscle bellies yet, but he's getting there. I mean, he must have made tremendous improvements over the last couple of years. I don't know what he looked like 2 years ago, but this guy is very impressive. From the back, he's very dangerous. He's got a huge back, and you can tell he loves bodybuilding, and this is what he's devoted his life to, and I expect to see big things from him probably over the next 2 years. I think he's going to win shows by next year, and I think, after that, I think the sky's the limit with this guy, assuming he doesn't, destroy his shape or structure, and he puts the size on incrementally in the right areas. He will be very dangerous. This was a good lineup. Like I said, I enjoyed going, I wish I was there for my friend Roman, but I enjoyed watching the videos and the pictures online because I think that these guys, people will say, well, it was a no-name lineup. Yeah, there was no guys that we, have grown to see on the Olympia stage in this lineup with any regularity, but the lineup was good. This was a good show. Guys brought muscle, they brought good symmetry, they brought great presentation, the conditioning was good, and this was a well-earned victory for Roman Fritz. Congratulations to the entire lineup, to the promoters of the Big Man in Alicante, Spain. This has become like a real destination place. At some point, I'd like to go and see this show because I love Spain. I've been there innumerable times, and it's in a beautiful area. It's the summer. I'm sure it was gorgeous down there by the water. So once again, if you guys are planning, to try to qualify for the Olympia, and you're listening to this show, this might be a show you might want to go to next year. It's beautiful there, and there's no reason not to have a good time right after the show's over, right? I mean, at least you can make a little mini vacation out of it before you'd have to start gearing up for the next show or your Olympia prep. But this was a great showing, and once again, I'm super proud of my friend Roman Fritz. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.